I'm going to go over real quick why nobody's getting better mentally. And I'm going to use an analogy or a metaphor that maybe you can understand. If you look at this light, this is a light, right? How do I turn on the light? I just simply tap the light. That's it. There's a process to turning on the light. However, what most mental health experts are going to teach you is why the light comes on. Like literally when you plug the light in, what happens, the wiring, all of that stuff. They're going to teach you why the light does what it does, how to use the light, what wires cross each other. When really all they should be teaching you is that the process to actually getting better mentally. But they don't do that. Do you know why? Because there's no money to be made just doing this, which is what you really want to know. And they've trained us to believe that we have to understand why we're messed up in order to get better. That's not true. It's just like this light. You don't have to know why the light comes on, just like your cell phone that you're watching me on right now. You don't have to know why your cell phone works. You just want to know how to send out text messages. You just want to know how to make phone calls. You just want to know how to surf social media. You want to know how to use your phone, which is a process. But for some reason, when it comes to us, particularly when it comes to mental health, we want to know, we've been trained to believe that we have to understand why we're messed up. So even if you know that the reason why you get anxiety is because when you was younger, your dad used to scream at you in these certain situations. Okay, we've discovered the root of why you're messed up. What's the process to getting better? Is there a process? How do I get better? That's the only thing you should be concerned with. You shouldn't be concerned with why the light comes on. You should be concerned with how to turn the light on and how to turn it off. The same thing here. How do I get better? Not why I'm messed up. Please do your best to stop focusing on the theory of why you're messed up and focus on how I get better. And I go over this a lot on this channel. The process is very, very simple, but the reason why it's not taught, do you know the reason? I think you know the reason, right? I think you know the reason. What's the reason? Because if you was better, they can't make money. They can't make profit. They can't keep having you come in reoccurrently, because that's basically what they want. That's the old joke with mechanics, right? When you take the car to the mechanic for a problem, the mechanic finds like 6 or 7 different problems. And some believe that the mechanic actually messes up your car on purpose to keep you coming. It's the same thing, metaphorically speaking, here. Mental health experts are not going to teach you the process of that. Turning on the light and turning off the light. That's all you should be focused on. How do I use the light? How do I turn it on? How do I turn it off? It's so simple. That's it. And it's the same thing when it comes to your mental health. It's super, super simple. When stuff comes up in everyday life, when you start to get disturbed, don't resist. You don't have to do anything. Realize that you could take a step back. Relax. Now, when I say relax, it doesn't mean the disturbances that's coming up is going to relax. What you have to do is not resist it. Don't resist. People are afraid of feelings. Feelings are not going to kill you. Emotions are not going to kill you. Your trauma, it already happened. It already happened. It's over. Let it go. How do you let it go? By not resisting the energy when it comes up. A feeling is not going to kill you. An emotion is not going to kill you. Your trauma that comes up is not going to kill you. However, If you keep avoiding these feelings, these emotions, this traumatic energy, it will kill you. This is why people suffer with like things like heart disease, cancer, things evolve because we're resisting this suppressed energy. Now, I can't prove this. I get it. There's going to be a, well, scientifically speaking, technically, because I study behind the wiring, I study why the light comes on. Technically, Lou, you're wrong. You're wrong. The reason why people get heart disease and cancer is not because of this, it's because of genetics. And I'm sure genetics, of course, has a role to play. But what I'm saying, focus on a process to getting better. And believe it or not, for the most part, everything works. The problem with most of us is we find a process that actually does get us a little bit better, but then we stop. You know why? Because we're bored. Because the boring thing, the thing that doesn't make the mental health experts any money, the boring thing, the free thing, we get bored because we want to know, why does the light come on? Stop focusing on why the light comes on. Just focus on turning on the light and turning off the light. And it's simple. You could use meditation, you could use mantra, you could use the stretches I teach. And these practices, what they're meant to do is get you centered, because you don't actually heal during meditation, during therapy, during stretching, during body work. You don't heal during your ayahuasca ceremony or taking mushrooms or all of these things. You heal when in everyday life, when you start to get disturbed, you notice it. These practices, all they're meant to do is help teach you how to get centered, to deal with your stuff. And when you deal with your stuff, it's really, really simple. You turn the light on, you turn it off. You don't have to know why am I feeling this way? Who cares? Who cares? You don't care how your phone works, do you? You don't care that when you send a text message, the satellite in the space in the sky, you just care whether or not the message is delivered. That's it. You don't care who made your phone. Have a lot of you ever thought about who actually made your phone? Because there's a lot of people that they talk about privilege, and they complain online on why social justice, but they're doing it on the phone that's probably made by people that are very, very underprivileged. But you don't care about that. You don't care about that because it doesn't fit the narrative. I'm going off topic anyway. Focus on a process to getting better. Super simple. The process should be, how do I get centered when my stuff comes up? And if you do that, which is free, by the way, which is very, very free. Now, I do teach a process in detail on my Anxiety Release Breakthrough System course. Yes, it's $47. Yes, I understand. Why can't you make it free for us and give it? Because it costs me money to make. I get a lot of that. People come at me and say, oh, if you really cared about the world, why don't? It's $47. It's $47. You spent more money on DoorDash, on jewelry you'll never use, on shirts you'll never use. And yes, I teach an in-detail process, but also my YouTube videos, my long-form stretch videos I post on social media. Are you doing them, or are you just saving them? Or are you just saying, maybe I'll do? If you did it once, did you do it again? Why not? Oh, I'm bored. I need something new. No. Practice. Practice getting better. Practice handling your stuff. And it's simple. Just get centered. Just become aware. Oh my God, I'm disturbed. What is this coming up? Energy. What should I do? Don't resist. Allow it space to be there, because all energy, all disturbed energy is meant to pass on through. The problem is the energy comes up, it touches us, we get scared of it, we resist it, we distract ourselves from it, we try to express it because we think if we express it, we're letting it go. We're not letting it go. Letting it out, I have the saying, letting it out doesn't mean you're letting it go. Letting it out, when you express this energy, because realize you're more than this energy, you're more than this disturbed energy. You are the awareness behind the energy. And if you could come in contact with that, I promise you, your life will be a lot better. It's so simple. Please just focus on how do I turn the light on? How do I turn it off? Stop focusing on, metaphorically speaking, why does the light come on? What happens when I plug in? What electrical signals happen? Who cares? But we've been trained to care about the dumb stuff. Why? Because there's money to be made. You realize today they say that we spend more money, tax reasons, tax ways. We spend more money now on mental health than ever. The focus on mental health is so high now. Yet, we're suffering more than ever. You ever ask why? You ever ask why? Maybe it's planned. Maybe if they keep us disturbed enough, we won't actually focus on what's actually happening, what's actually going on in the real world. You ever think about that? Why do we spend so much money on mental health? It's a lot. Have you looked at the numbers? Take a look at the numbers. Google it right now. Look at the numbers. How much do we spend on mental health compared to years prior? And then look at how messed up we actually are. It's more than ever. Isn't that weird? We focus on something more than ever, and the problem that we're focusing on just keeps getting worse. That's crazy, ain't it? Maybe we're focusing on the wrong thing. Maybe we should just focus on how to put the light on and how to shut it off. We shouldn't focus so much on why does the light come on. And I think if we did that, we'll do a lot better. But it's super simple. Please, just focus on the stuff. Focus on the right stuff. I promise you, your life will get a whole lot better. Peace.